Welcome back, my name is Tobal, and we are continuing on with our Let's Play of X Rebirth in preparation for X4 Foundations. So, last episode I mentioned I was going to go through a couple of the cockpit configurations here. So we've got quite a few, and really I can't tell if it's anything beyond cosmetic. I didn't see any changes in functionality, it's about cosmetic. So I went ahead after installing all of these, and I kind of like the combat just because it gives us the biggest view, and you'll see that here in just a second. And the other thing we did was to upgrade the engines.
We only stock the finest goods here.
Went basically traded in the equalized engine for the supercharged, and I can't do math. That's actually 2.6 million is what the Mark IV engine was, so we couldn't afford that, but I did go with the engine Mark II supercharged. What this winds up doing is basically making a faster acceleration and less so on your side-to-side thrusters. So I went ahead and upgraded that.
Accepted.
Also grabbed this inertial hammer, which has more damage than the pulse laser. So I think that's about the only changes we have here. I did take a look at some of these other things, like different scanners. I think Police Scanner lets you complete bounties.
Employing specific characteristic wavelengths, these active
Actually, not even sure. That could be part of the license. You have to buy a license from one of the races in order to be able to do that. So not too much in terms of what we purchased.
Be good, mind.
Be good, mind. So we'll go ahead and continue trying to finish this mission where we have to map out the area. I do like this. It's basically like it's just a bunch of monitors that give you an outside display. So like I mentioned, the cockpit configurations really just look like visuals. It's just like a skin, you know. So this configuration gives us the most viewing area compared to any of the other cockpit configs there were. So yeah, we're still in the middle of this mission here to map out the area. And KO. TO. So I wonder if it's still not even sure what we need to map out beyond this. We'll go back. It might be one of those things where you have to inspect every single building. If it does wind up being that, I might go ahead and skip a bit and come back to it later. We did not scan this here, so let's go ahead and finish scanning this station in order to get that 100%, in case that's part of getting that mission accomplished and where you have to scan every single station.
Calibrating HUD.
Station scanned.
Resetting HUD and scanners.
Scanner deactivated.
Looking for that jump gate, which is over here. Yeah, this already feels a little bit faster, the engine we upgraded with. Nice. Alright, so we'll jump back over to Home of Light and see what kind of other things that we still need to scan to complete this mission. Because 69 million would not be bad towards getting our own. I mean, I'm pretty sure most freighters and large supercarriers are around a couple double-digit millions, so this should definitely put us on the way towards that. I also don't hope we have to get out of each of these sectors, because that's going to be a lot of just running around for really no reason. So we'll take the freeway, we'll get over back to the main part of town here. Take a look at this new, I think this is like a shotgun almost. Yeah. So probably only useful under a certain range, but a pretty good fire rate and how fast it heats up and cools down, so that's not too bad. So we will keep an eye on someone to test that out on. And continue on. And bumped right out.
11.
So we're over in District 11. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything unique. I'll get back in here and see if anything jumps out at us on the radar, or kind of how the Stargate or the jump gate appeared far away. But I don't see any other items that would indicate something to scan, other than every single station, which is going to be just kind of a lot of running around for no reason. This really does feel like you're on a highway with a bunch of advertisements to get off and stop at Joe's Burger. Change a couple things on the volume so it might get really quiet here. There we go. So we're in a different sector now. Again, not seeing anything that we need to scan here. And we're back at
Entering District 1.
District 1, which has the jump gate to the next system. Ooh, what's over here? What is this enemy? It just says... The enemy is just a symbol with freaking a mask on it. I don't know if that just means it's a criminal or not. Let's go test out the new shotgun, basically. Space shotgun. Oh, I don't want to hit anybody else. Well then, that's a bit stronger than I thought. Let's go find one more person to play with here. That's silly. A bit silly in strength, but hopefully with other fighters and bigger ships we'll have more of a challenge on that. So closer to the jump gate, we'll go over to the jump gate, go back to Cold Star, and continue on trying to find out how to finish this mission. Yeah. I don't know if they were attackers per se, but sure. No problem. Thanks for the money.
Cold Star.
All right. I don't know what this is.
Thank you for dealing with those enemies attacking our station.
So, longest reign is at 1. Let's finish just scanning this first system to see if it updates us to anything else. Since this was the first system we come to after getting this mission, this may only need you to do the first thing you come to. That would be nice, but
Calibrating HUD.
who knows? If you aren't familiar with the Reddit, there is a subreddit out there for X4 Foundations. I think it's quite literally X4 Foundations. The entire channel or the entire page is moderated by the Egosoft admin and developers. So they're active and of sorts. They do make comments sort of here and there. They're obviously, I think, working on finishing up the game, but there was a couple posts with comments from the developers that said they're feeling pretty comfortable with it. They're just finishing up some of the artwork, last minute bugs. I mean, there's going to be bugs. I think that's just a given. For almost like every single Egosoft game there is. That's weird. So this system says it only has, okay, so longest reign is 100% explored, but if we go up 1, Ode Monumenti says it's only 33%. So I'm curious if that means if there's a just like something hidden we haven't seen. There's something over there.
Resetting HUD and scanners.
Scanner
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the lack of information. I mean, the briefing just basically says continue to map out the area, which is, you know, fine, but when you're trying to figure out which way to go and if you need to scan every single sector, it wouldn't have hurt to have added a little more info, but we are far beyond the point of any patches from here on out. Natural expansion, the quarry, jump gate, exit gate. Let's go over to some of the debris. Maybe there's something over here that we need to explore in order to get the entire area cleaned up. I don't see anything on the minimap, so nothing's triggering as a point of interest, but maybe it's a kind of a regional exploration. Back. It's really weird. Actually, if I remember right, there is... Okay.
Calibrating HUD.
long range
Hold down
scanner
R.
activated.
I don't know if that's doing anything. It used to make a much louder noise when you did a long-range ping. God, it sounds like the freaking ships are alive like they're whales. Alright, not seeing anything here. Let's keep going on. Oh, well that's new. What I did differently there. So if I remember right, any of these are sensor pings, basically, that have something that you can do with them, whether it's break something down like an asteroid. I think I can't target anything right here. Well, this is just showing each of the wrecks as a... I mean, that ping right there is. I don't see anything that represents it, so I'm assuming it's literally responding off the entire surface of the ship. One of the other things that made me think about X4 just now was that apparently in the upcoming version you also are going to be able to get out of your ship completely and into a jumpsuit and move around, like to the point where you can explore derelict stations, and then also one of the advertisements was to like basically place a bomb on someone's ship or a station in combat. I don't know how realistic that really is, but you know, if it is, that's pretty fancy. That's pretty cool. So we'll keep an eye on that. I hate to get caught up in all the buzz phrases. You know, most game developers are going to have some pretty outrageous claims, and not all of them wind up being true. So it's got to kind of temper your hope with the reality of the situation. But here's to hoping we can get out of the ship, stick a bomb on another enemy vessel or something like that. That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, I think the ping return is coming off of every single bit of debris, which is great, except that none of this is something we can interact with. So I'll head back towards civilization here, and we'll use this long-range scanning mode to try to find other points of interest in the area that we're missing. That obviously there's something here. Oh, empty space. Let's go back one. Oh, that still didn't do it. So I wonder if this came back.
Entering longest range.
Okay, so empty space was only there for a moment when you're basically out in the middle of nowhere. I thought it acted as a sector, like to the south of, you know, your main sector, but it looks like it's just anytime you're away from the sector proper, it turns into empty space as kind of a system you could even look at, or a sector you could look at. So I'm still a bit stymied on what else we need to explore. We did get all the station information. We scanned the stations. We scanned the gates. Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is that it's going to be some kind of point of interest like this, just out in the middle of nowhere. So give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get back on to... I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll go ahead and just pass on this mission for now. There was no time limit on the mission. Hopefully we can take more than one. Continue to map out the area. Yeah. Step one was... Okay, so longest range was, I think, the last... Longest range. Wasn't longest range in Albion, Inner World? No, it wasn't this. So this is Cold Peaks. Very strange. I think this is also part of what some folks had trouble with in general with some of the X games, and specifically with ooh, did they just abandon that? I just saw this whole freighter turn gray. Where are you? I think that's over here. I think they actually... Oh, okay, it looks like it's getting blown up there behind the station. If you didn't know, basically in X3 and continuing on here in X Rebirth,
It's been secured in storage.
people can eject from their ship. So there is a chance that when you're in combat, the pilot of that ship will eject, and then you can basically capture the entire thing. So I suddenly saw this on the radar go from red to gray, so I thought he ejected, but oh, looks like he just got trashed. So we'll do another couple pings out here. Well, that was nothing. Well, if anyone has done the Home of Light expansion and knows kind of what we're looking for here, what we should be looking for, feel free to leave a comment in the next video and I will take a look. Well, I'll take a little break between videos here in case someone has some input. But for the moment, I'm a little stymied. We can go ahead and continue to explore the rest of the cold, was it cold something? Cold Star. We'll go back to natural expansion in the quarry. Check those out. See if there's anything in those, if that triggers any more exploration completion results. I do love that effect of the sonar, basically. Ping.
Entering eliminated obligations.
And the only thing we have here looks like are 2 stations and an asteroid. That's a beacon. Okay. And so we'll go over explore these 2 and see if this is at all completing or fulfilling more of our mission objective. And I also, when I was at the station talking to the engineer, did not see an option to do any engine or performance upgrades in order to increase the rate of energy recharge. So finding something like that would be a great improvement over just kind of waiting for the bar to recharge. I remember in X3 there was, oh, you know what, actually, did I see SETI in here? SETI used to basically be a time dilation option, and it basically lets you just speed ahead when you're doing really long trips between, you know, point A and point B. SETA, actually. Son of a gun. It's still there, so we'll try that when we go between this station and the next station. You may have to install it, though. I think I seem to remember having to install that on my ship before you could use it, so it might be something we need to.
Resetting
Or
HUD and scanners.
nope, that didn't work. Good.
Deactivated.
Calibrating HUD.
All right, so let's find the other station, which is over here. So can I?
Resetting HUD and scanners.
Scanner deactivated.
It sure doesn't like me doing that. Ship scan, asteroid. So SETA is grayed out. So either we don't have that as an option because we have to upgrade it and buy it. It could be computer software. Let's hang on real quick. Let's turn around and see if the station has anybody to talk to about an engineer. Ship services. I think it's a mechanic actually. Buy new parts for your ship. Nope, he is going to be at the next station over. The SETA upgrade might be a computer software, much like your old Mark III. There was software that lets your ship automatically trade if you're not familiar with it, but the Mark III trading software or something of that nature. So maybe we have to get that on top of
Calibrating HUD.
having the option available in the menu. So we'll scan the system
Resetting
or
HUD
the
and
station.
scanners.
Scanner deactivated.
This is the Albion Sky.
Okay, coming down to dock, and we'll talk to our fabulous outfit.
Hi, pilot. Guess what I have for you? These products are top quality at best prices, or I'm a Taladi.
Focused on statistical analysis.
This might just be with how much you're able to lead your target.
The Mark II targeting system extension improves on its predecessor by
Of course.
the third generation of Sidewinder. The third generation.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Bye for now.
Well, I'm at a loss. Between episodes, I will go ahead and look into
but
how to get SETA enabled, just to make some of those trips
I didn't expect to hear from you.
are a little bit faster.
Bye for now.
You can also hire crew, both for the Albion Skunk and then also crew for your large ship. So if you happen to buy a freighter, you'll need a captain for the freighter. I believe you'd need a navigator. If we were to hire, I think, a ship technician.
I didn't expect to hear from you.
No, not this person.
Hello, mate.
There's basically people you can hire that will do stuff on your ship. So I think there's like you can hire ship crew, that's a mechanic, and mid-combat or mid-flight he'll be repairing your ship. There might be a weapons officer that also either attacks on their own or uses drones if you have drones. Don't recall offhand again. I didn't play a whole ton of this when it first came out, so I'm definitely behind in terms of what to expect. There's something to think about. When we first came in this system, we only saw 2 stations. So it looks like just coming further in, we were able to unlock another station. So maybe we haven't found, gosh, I guess another sector. That's why the OM system, Ode Monumenti, says 33% explored, but the only one sector we could find shows 100%. So maybe there's like a hidden sector between these 2 areas. It would be nice. I wonder if SETA is only available in outer space areas. That could be a thing too. So might do a little bit messing around with that, but we'll go ahead and get the
Calibrating HUD.
scan on this. I think this is a charging. We can encounter one of these before. Cell recharge. Yep. Okay. If we check our map, we are at 100% explored on this particular sector. But again, this system as a whole, the natural expansion only is 25%. So yeah, stuff that just not quite familiar with.
Resetting HUD and scanners.
Scanner deactivated.
Go ahead and burn out here a little bit to space between, a little bit away from the Ode Momenti. I'm curious if we can get into the outer space or the empty space area, if it lets us all of a sudden use SETA, the time enhancement. So we're in empty space, and we still can't use SETA. So I'm thinking SETA is definitely something you have to upgrade and purchase. But yeah, even empty space here says 100% explored. So certainly could fool me. Zone. Alright, so it has been about just under 30 minutes, so I think we'll go ahead and get back to Ode Monumenti, and I will go ahead and put a cut in here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and upload this video, and wait a little bit in case anyone has some input and ideas on where to kind of go to continue completing this mission here, our active mission to explore the area. The other option would be to the other option would be to take on some missions that let you explore. So if we have to transport some people from, say, here over to one of those, one of the sectors that's like Sector 1 or 2, which was over in the other area. Yeah, really at a loss there. So I'll continue to explore a little bit, but mostly I'm just going to save in our current system, which is Longest Reign. And yeah, well, next time we get together, we'll continue on, and I'd like to get a couple more of these videos out. Just again, don't expect to get, you know, really too deep into it. I'd be pretty happy if we're able to get a station up and running and some trading going. But I think it gives us a good mentality of, you know, what to expect from X4, what are some things we can look forward to, what are some of the problems that we're tired of. So I know X Rebirth is definitely kind of like the bastard child of the group. It's not really talked about But I do think after all the patches, it does deserve a second look. So it's nice to be here. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.